Well, hello there. You are listening to the DIY Marketing School podcast. I'm your host, your marketing coach, and just overall goofball sometimes, Melanie Diane Howe. I'm so pumped you're here. Today, I'm going to be talking about the difference between a Facebook page and a Facebook group and why you need both. Well, hello, my friends. I am super stoked to be here with you today. I hope you're having an awesome day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Today, we're going to talk about Facebook groups versus a business page. And more specifically, I'm going to kind of explain the difference and whether or not you should be, spending more time with publishing content on your business page versus a Facebook group. Now, let me give you a little bit of a backstory here. So first, obviously, if you're in business, Facebook pages are, very much a thing, but you also probably know that the Facebook algorithms can make it a bit challenging for people to see your content. Now, if you're providing regular valuable content, the more likely there are people that are seeing this content. However, Facebook really does protect the user. Now, I'm not going to go into the algorithms in this episode. I have done that. So check out episode 4 if you want a refresher on the Facebook algorithms, or if you're not sure what the heck I'm talking about, go check out episode 4. I'll link to it in the show notes. What we know at this point is that, Facebook is favoring communities, which is in the Facebook groups. And so, the question comes up from many marketers, hey, should we abandon these Facebook pages and put, most of our efforts or all of our efforts into these Facebook groups that we're creating? So this conversation came up recently. I was talking with a really good friend of mine, hilarious, super smart, Dr. Anna Stumpf. And she was doing a presentation, and I'm actually going to be having her on the show once I can figure out how to do a podcast interview. I'm still new to this, so give me a break. But working on it. We're actually working on it. I'm for real, though. So she's going to be on here, and she's actually going to talk about how these Facebook groups, how they are just creating deeper connections. And she's going to provide all kinds of great information on that. But we were talking about, it just seems like, well, if the algorithms are favoring the content inside of these communities, Facebook has gone on record to say that they want us to be creating communities, that they want to support community. And, then what do we need a Facebook page for? Shouldn't we just create a Facebook group and just do all of our business content inside of a Facebook group? So real quick, a Facebook group is different than a Facebook page. A Facebook page, a business page, is a public page. Anyone can see it. You can't make them private. You can't, hide your content. You can't only showcase content for certain people. You can't filter who sees it. It's out there and anyone can like it. And it is, it's your traditional social media platform for most businesses. A Facebook group, however, there are different types of groups that you can create. You can have different privacy settings where some people can't actually locate the group or find it. It's not searchable, whereas others are just 100% public. You can even see the content inside of the group. And then there's, Facebook groups where you can find it, but you have to request access to be approved into the group. And you can even set up, questions to filter those requests coming into your group. My Facebook group is called DIY Marketing with Melanie, and I have a few questions in there that just helps me kind of, just make sure that it's a human, right? And then also lets me get a little bit of insight, like into, how they found the group. A Facebook group is a great place where people typically do feel more comfortable, meaning your audience does typically feel more comfortable having a conversation with you, responding to things, because it is a community. There is typically a theme to your group. There's a community by definition is basically a bunch of people with similar interests coming together, right? And so that interest could be, your business, or it could be a learning objective. It could be a hobby. There's so many types of Facebook groups out there. I mean, there are tons. I happen to be in quite a few Facebook groups myself, some learning communities, as well as just, for example, I'm in a podcasting community that's geared towards female podcasters. it's not that we have anything against men. It's just, it's a place for female podcasters. So great group. Awesome. I love it. I'm in some learning communities as well through Amy Porterfield, who is, a mentor of mine. I have taken her courses. I'm an ambassador in one of her courses. And so I'm in these groups. They're learning groups that I'm in that I'm able to be in because I've taken her courses, but I'm also in there to help other people as well. And so these Facebook groups are just an excellent way to just get a deeper connection with your audience. I'm not going to go into a deep dive in this episode about Facebook groups or, how you should create one or whether you should create one or not. I want to talk about the importance of the Facebook group versus your Facebook business page. So I am a strong believer that you should not abandon your Facebook page for many reasons. Your Facebook page is really the gateway to the other things that you can provide. And so the reason I'm talking about this is, Anna and I were talking about it, and I was, just really emphasizing my opinion that, even though the communities in these Facebook groups, we get so much more engagement. There's just so much more conversation. There's just more people are seeing your content. I mean, I know that in my group, I absolutely see that and feel that versus my business page. And the Facebook algorithms are a big part of that. I think there's a lot of other social and psychological reasons why this is happening as well. But the question comes up. People say, well, why would I bother with my Facebook page anymore when I should just save all my great content for my Facebook group? That's where the conversations are happening. That's where people are engaged with me. It just seems to be the only place that's worth it. But here's why you can't abandon your Facebook page. So I want you to imagine, you need to realize your Facebook page is kind of like the front door of your building, if you will. So, and they are there, they can find you, they can see you, they can kind of scope you out, check you out, and decide if they then want to come inside and have a conversation with you. So think of your Facebook page as, you're posting content out there and they have a question. Maybe, you meet them outside and you can answer that question and you can invite them inside. And they're like, oh, fantastic. Well, yeah, this seems interesting to me. And they're willing to come inside. And then they're willing to join your community. And they're more comfortable sitting down, having a cup of coffee with you and having a conversation versus, if you didn't have that, exterior storefront, that front door for them to kind of peek through, most people are not really going to just jump into the community. I think people want to still scope you out, stalk you a little bit, check you out, and your Facebook page is a way for them to do that. So your community, you invite them in, bring them in, give them a call to action. So there's ways you can do this. In your, on your Facebook business page, you have a button that shows up near your cover photo. And by default, a lot of times, people will use call now or learn more, which then they do a hyperlink to like their website or something, or shop now, things like that. There is also a button now that says visit group. And that is a call to action for these people to visit your group. And this is your Facebook community. And so you can connect a group to your Facebook page if you choose to. So really, the reason I feel strongly that you cannot abandon the Facebook page, even though it can sometimes feel like you're talking to crickets, even me, sometimes it feels that way, is because people are still going to want to scope you out. And if you don't give them a place to do this, they're not as likely to come inside. And, this is a great time for me to actually mention, I have a wonderful online course that is free. I created an online course that talks about this very thing, about how people want a way to kind of scope you out, kind of see if you're a good fit for them before they're willing to even really give you an opportunity. And so if you want to check that out, for sure, visit my website at melaniediane.com and you will see that. It's the Social Media Foundations online course. And I will link to that in the show notes for sure. I talk about all this stuff, and I talk about this process that people need to go through. And it really gives you this online course will give you the foundational knowledge that you need to create a content plan that can actually help people get to that place of deciding, yes, I want to come inside. I want to check this out even further. I want more information. But, let's talk right now about the difference in the content plan for your Facebook page versus your Facebook group, just briefly. So I actually think that your Facebook page, I want these social media platforms, I want you to have as much content on them as possible. But I also, if you have a Facebook group, you probably want to make a decision about prioritizing because, hey, we're all busy. We only have so much time in the day. And, you probably don't have a budget or time to create gobs and gobs of content for both. Now, if you do, go for it. But I want you the content on your page, it probably needs to be a little different than the content inside of your group. So think of it this way. The content on your page needs to be geared towards those new followers, those new audience members. And because you're inviting people in, and as long as, the purpose of your group is to have this deeper conversation, then that's exactly what you're doing inside of your group. You're going to do regular live videos. You can do Q&As in there. You can share, if I do a podcast episode, I can go in there and do a deeper dive on part of the episode and just give a lot more in-depth knowledge about it, right? So you can this gives people a VIP experience inside of your community. And it also is going to be just more, I guess I'm going to say, productive for you instead of duplicating your content all over the place, because quite frankly, you want to give people a reason to join your community. And if you're sharing everything on the outside, then you're not really giving them a reason to come in and have that mutual or that deeper connection with you, that relationship building that can happen inside of a Facebook community. So, there's all kinds of content strategies that you can put in place inside of a Facebook group. Right now, if you don't already have a Facebook group, you're possibly intrigued, but you're thinking, what would I use a Facebook group for? Well, if you're a service-based industry or a service-based company, you can absolutely create, a customer group. This would be for all of your customers, and someone who becomes a customer may get access to additional trainings or additional learnings or service offerings or even just coupon codes even. If you're a store, like a retail store, then you could use your Facebook group to provide extra, service and that concierge style service. So let's say, for example, you're a clothing store. Well, you could share tips about how, like beauty tips and dress tips, like, okay, what outfits coordinate, what's fall fashions, here are our fall favorites. And it would just be like another level of concierge service, drawing more people wanting to come into your store, wanting to buy from you. So, there's all kinds of ways you can use Facebook groups. Again, not going to take a huge deep dive in that in this episode. I just wanted to get in here really quick and talk to you about you cannot abandon these Facebook business pages. And I just keep seeing businesses do it left and right. They're saying, hey, the algorithms aren't in our favor. It's just not working for us anyway. It's just, we're not getting the conversations. Well, you've got to keep trying. You've got to work with these systems and you've got to work with it because it can work for you. And it is critical. And in my, online course, my social media foundations course, I talk to you about exactly why you cannot be dark out there. You've got to have content for people because they are going to want to scope you out online. And if there's nothing there for them to see, you're going to look like you're closed for business. You're just not even going to look like you're open. And so I know it can sometimes feel a little challenging, but you just got to tweak and refine and find some content that works. And, so if you're not getting engagement, if you're not getting the organic reach at all, then change it up. Try some new things. Try some new content formats in your strategy, and I know you will find something that will work. It absolutely can work. But bottom line today is, if you've got a Facebook community already, then that's fantastic. I hope you have an awesome strategic content plan and you're nurturing these relationships and you're creating these deeper connections. But I also want you to remember that you cannot close the door. You need to still leave that door open. You are open for business. So you need to also make sure that you are still treating your business page with some content as well. Now, prior to if you have a community and it's engaged and you have buyers in there, then yeah, you might put that community first. That might be your priority from a content standpoint. just make sure that you also have a plan to create some content for your business page for sure. And again, remember that they are earlier in the process with you. These are new followers, most likely. And lastly, I want you to consider a Facebook group. If you don't already have a Facebook group for your business, then I want you to consider one. It could be a VIP, club or group. It could be a learning community, which is what I have. It could be a VIP customer community, or it could just be you facilitating a general interest group of people that have an interest, and you're the facilitator. You're kind of the leader of a bunch of people who some are going to be customers and some may not be customers, but you're leading them along and they're going to appreciate that. And you can facilitate the conversation. I absolutely promise I will have an episode that will be all about a Facebook group strategy, including what kind of groups you can create, some examples, and of course, some excellent content ideas for you as well. So stay tuned for that. If you happen to catch this episode after that episode is live, I will absolutely have it in the show notes. So be on the look in those show notes to see if that podcast episode has aired yet. So stay tuned for that. And with that, I am going to close this one up and let you guys get on with your day. If you have a minute, please go head over to melaniediane.com. That's DYANN. It's a very special spelling of my middle name. And check out that free online course that I created. I created it for you to make sure that everybody has a foundational knowledge for a social media strategy, understanding the journey that your customers are going on and how social media plays such a critical role in moving people along that journey. And so I talk about all of that in this online course. And I did it because I wanted to make sure that all of the people that I help and I teach have an opportunity to gain that foundational knowledge. I do run into so many situations where I feel like it's like a skipped step, or maybe people just haven't been exposed to that information. And so I wanted to make sure I had this great online course. It's a video course. So it's me on video. It's got a worksheet to help you along. And I wanted to make sure I had that to point people when I do find that they don't have that foundational knowledge. So go check it out. Even if you think you have a foundational knowledge, check it out. It's free. I mean, come on, it's free. It's short. You can do this course in a matter of 20 minutes and it's great. I'm proud of it. So I would love for you to check it out and give me your feedback for sure. So again, go to melaniediane.com and you will see it in the homepage. Social Media Foundations is that online course. So, all right, you guys, have an awesome day. Always remember to just simply don't overthink anything and get yourselves out there, push yourselves, get out of those comfort zones and just go be awesome. I'm watching you. I am seeing what you're doing. I am proud of you and I cannot wait to see what you do next. All right, that's what I got. I'll see you guys later.